Yo, Catherine in Chicago, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut polarized gray lenses for your RayBan2132 size 52. Now I'm going to use color 6012, which is the tortoise beige, to cut your lenses. The first thing I'm going to do is pop out the original heavy glass lenses. I'm going to put the Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli LE1000 patternless edger. And this stylus is going to pop up and trace the shape of your left lens, and then it's going to move over and trace the shape of your right. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy the frame and you get free clear prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, single vision lenses, whatever it might be. Alright, so I'm going to pull your shape up onto the computer. If this were prescription, I would put in your pupillary distance. Because it is not, I'm just going to have it match the frames. This is a polycarbonate lens that I'm cutting for a plastic frame. So here are your lenses. I'm going to pull them out of their protective sleeve. You are going with polarized gray. And these are polycarbonate lenses. The polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection. So the reason I have that white line on each side is to tell me which meridian they were in. Polarized, if you notice, you can see through both of them, but when I hold them, you hear the term polar opposites. When I hold them 90 degrees apart, the lens goes pitch black. This tells me where to orient them, so this is perfect and will stop the most amount of glare. So I need to put this block on here while it's cutting. This is what's going to hold it in the chuck. So I'm going to put this block into my blocker, and 3M, the same people who came up with post-it notes, have little leak pads, as they call them. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the block, pull away the tape to give me that sticky side. I'm going to put the lens on there and place that in the middle of the lens. I'm going to do the same thing for this lens now. Let me pull that off. Put the block in there correctly. Get everything lined up just right. Pull the tape off on that side. And then that's in the middle of the lens. So I'm now going to place the lens into the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it chuck. But the calipers are going to come down and it's going to trace the shape of your right lens, starting on the concave side of the lens first, which is closest to the eyelashes, and then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face, all the while measuring the thickness to know exactly where to place the bevel onto the lens. Now the actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom of the bottom of the machine. It's that wheel on the left, that lighter color wheel. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your lens material. And this wheel in the center with that little channel, that valley you see, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. I will have to close the door while this is cutting, but for now I just want you to see as your polarized gray lens touches down onto the cutting wheel. This whole process will take about 15 minutes. It's now 8:17 on Monday, May 19th, 73 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina. We are also the Bull City, are also known as Little Chicago. We have a blues festival every year, and our hometown team is the Durham Bulls. By the way, we loaned you Michael Jordan a few years back. You remember the guy? I think he went by number 23. Does that ring a bell? He went to school 11 miles away in Chapel Hill. So as I was saying, your lenses do have both UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. If you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index cut wet. It starts off with 3/4 of it is done dry, and then at the very end some water jets will spray onto the lens just to try and remove any optical debris, any optical sawdust. There we go. Your lens is getting clean now. In just a moment it will stop, and we'll see if I can get this mounted into your frame. Actually mounted into my frame. And then I'm going to send you lenses only to Chicago. Which I have to admit, I know I'm going to alienate people up north, but I'm such a doughhead. I love bread that I got to give the edge. Chicago deep dish pizza is the way to go. 2 slices will fill you up where you can eat 1/2 to 3/4 of a New York pizza. I know I just lost all my friends in New York, but hey guys, I love a little something to chew on when I'm eating pizza. All right. So I'm gonna dry your lens off. One last thing I want to do before I try and mount it is you still have some rough edges from where it was cutting, so I want to use my hand stone, which is completely flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running, and my finger gets warm due to the friction, but it is that friction that lets me smooth out those rough edges. That's known as the safety bevel. And if you can see this little white powdery substance that's on your lens, that is called Schwarf. I'm going to scrape that off of your lens and onto the counter. I do this so much I've worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. And once it's all on the counter, I love doing this in every video, I collect it very neatly and then I wipe it onto the floor. And this is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like this. So if you want to make a mess like me, kids, you gotta stay in school. So I'm gonna tuck this into my tortoise beige, but this will fit any 52mm RayBan New Wayfarer frame that you could possibly have. So that is done. I'm gonna flip this over and cut the left lens now and hit start. Just like before, except this time it's going to come down and trace the shape of your left lens onto the concave side of the lens first. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side. That will end your vocabulary lesson of the day, concave and convex. You will be tested on this later, so make sure you memorize what those meanings mean, the definitions. Round and round, round and round, round and round. All right, as soon as this begins cutting, I'm going to keep working on your right lens. And cut. So this block is no longer needed. I'm going to pop that off, pull the sticker off. I'm going to hold your lens up to the light. Make sure there's no blemishes. We're looking good there. And actually, where's my protective sleeves? I got to get some more. So, let me go ahead and label your lens for you. This is the RayBan2132, size 52, and it is the Polar Gray. And I'm going to pop this lens out and show you how I'm going to ship it. And for you to mount these, by the way, to take your old lenses out, let me slow it down. To take lenses out, I turn the frame downward. It's always with your thumb, it's always at the nose. So I grab the frame with my left hand, and you can pull back with your knuckles on the right, place your thumb on the edge of the lens at the nose, put the other thumb on top, and just push outward, out it comes. In order to mount your lenses, you're going to tuck them in at the outside corner, which is closest to you. If you notice, I'm not trying to reach over the frame doing the lens. I'm not trying to push it in like that. I rotate it where the side I'm working on is closest to me. I tuck the lens in at the corner, which is also closest to me. Then using my thumbs, I press down, it snaps right in. Again, to take them out, turn the frame downward, and with your thumb, the other thumb on top, push down, out it comes. Some people like to tuck it in at the outside corner first. at the nose first, and then push down here. Whatever techniques works best for you, but I'm going to take that out, and it's going to go inside this protective sleeve. This is the same sleeve that the multi-billion-dollar labs send me prescription lenses in, the invisible bifocals with transitions, anti-glare, polarized lenses, all that. So I fold it over for twice the protection. Even though your lens is unbreakable, I'm still going to protect it during shipping, and this is how it's going to be sent to you. I'm also going to put one of my cleaning cloths in there to even act as more of a buffer zone. And I actually give you instructions on how to care for your RayBan case and cleaning cloth that I send you so it'll last you for years. I also send a photo request because I take pictures of many of my prescription patients when they come to pick up their prescription glasses. I started doing this a couple years ago to combine my interest in photography and the work that I do. And I now have several digital picture frames in my office, each with hundreds, if not thousands of pictures on there. And I want to do the same thing online, even though I can't take the picture. That's why I want you to take a selfie and send it to me, and I give you instructions on how to do that. And I will put your picture on the website, and you can tell everyone you're a RayBan model now. So I'm going to tuck this in at the outside corner closest to me using my thumbs. I press down, that snaps in perfectly. Take that block off. I want to hold your lens up to the light to inspect. And we are perfect. Again, I'm going to tuck it in, put it in this sleeve, and tuck it in there. And Catherine in Chicago, you are good to go. You now have your RayBan2132 size 52 polarized gray lenses. Follow my instructions you see here to pop them in, and everything will be a piece of cake. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. And again, Catherine in Chicago, I hope you enjoyed watching me cut your polarized gray lenses, and everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you.